Hello, everybody. How are you? It is very, very good to see you. So, what is up with you today? Liz is here, and oh, look at all these names. Do you know how good I was doing my last few minutes of things to get ready, and I looked up and I saw all the names start populating the list. It made me so happy. You guys make me very, very happy. That is okay. Tell her not to worry. We did good Monday night without her, didn't we, Nikki? So I think it's always better with her, but we'll make it, and it's important for her to get that project done. So, hello. Tell her I read her blog, and it was very, very good to read. She's right. We all overcommit ourselves and make ourselves crazy. And it wouldn't be that hard, would it, to start something in July instead of making ourselves crazy? So, but we understand. Tell her not one worry. Okay, everybody. And hello, Angela, Adele. There's our Sonia. Kathy Klein, it's so good to see you again. And let's see who else. And it's always good to see my Nikki. And then Sonia's so good to see you. Grand is back. Hello, Grand. Okay, let's see what else. And Linda is here. Marcia, did you ever get your little gingerbread man I mailed to you? I was hoping you had, but I'll talk to y'all about being on the computer because I'm kind of at wit's end. But Polly, so good to see you. So good to see you, Polly. And Polly, I loved your ideas for the art quilt. I loved your ideas. My hands feel dry. Let me grab some hand lotion, y'all. I hate when my hands feel dry. I tend to want to keep rubbing them, and I've got some good lotion. Avita hand relief. I was given this by a person at my quilt retreat as like a little thank you gift, and I love it. And when I run low on this, I'm going to find it and get more. I'm one of these people that hate hand lotions because I don't want my hands to feel oily. But this really doesn't, and that's nice. So anyway, I was watching Schitt's Creek. I finally saw the rest of the series, but they were using oil to get a back massage. I said I couldn't give a back massage that way, and don't put any oil on me. I have had this phobia since I was a child. But anyway, okay, so Jody's here, yay! But as I was saying, Miss Polly, we're going to keep record of your ideas. And it was so funny when I heard Cheryl's idea, I went, great, that's wonderful. So I didn't finish waiting for everybody to get your ideas in, but we're going to keep a hold of them. So, man, it is so good to see all of you. And I ordered some Laura Rylander. Hi, yay for you. We have missed you. It is so good to see you. Welcome back. So, yeah, we were here Monday because I had to look to see which thumb it was. That's good because being a type 2 diabetic, I was worried how well I would heal. And there's just a little fine mark there. It healed so well. But I've been trying to be really good at I know what's in my way. I have a very long extension cord here. And I kept trying to move my computer a little closer so I could actually see your names. But anyway, nope, that thumb healed up beautifully. And now I don't even pay attention to it. I thought that was pretty good. But as I was saying, being a type 2 diabetic, you have to be really careful with wounds, especially on your feet and hands, your extremities, because sometimes, the diabetes can inhibit your blood flow to your extremities. So I must be taking care of my blood pretty good that it healed well. So I'm thrilled. But anyway, so, you dear ladies, we will get to all you. Do you like my blue blouse? I saw this at Romans, because I get the bigger ladies' clothes catalog, and for us ladies who have more to love. But I saw this blouse and I wanted it. Oh boy, did I want it. And I just love, it reminds me of men's dress shirts of a time. And Jamie's Crafty World's here. Yay! Oh, and I hope our Crystal's near enough to hear. Hi, Crystal, sweetheart. So I've been wanting this blouse and I've looked at it for 2 years. But you know me, I am so cheap. Well, finally, it went on sale, and I got it for like $15. Yay! What a score. So for Christmas this year, this was one of my gifts to myself. So you love the pen. Isn't that a great pen? I saw this on eBay, and let me pull you closer because it has charms on it. So it has a little thimble charm. It has scissors. It has a tape measure and a spool of thread. Believe it or not, this was like $3 on eBay. So, Cheap Deb, that's my price. Oh, hi, Miss Crystal. You are my friend too. You are such a good crafter. And you know what? I think crafters are the best people anywhere because they're smart and they never get bored because there's always good, fun stuff to do. So way to go. All right. So today's show is going to be a little off the cuff. I got to be honest. The things that have happened since January 6th have been a little upsetting and been a little tough for me to deal with. And I have had problems trying to figure out when to sleep, and it ignited just fears about my health. It just kind of set off fears. But I'm not going to talk about anything bad because I reached out to Michelle. Inger is back. Hello. Isn't it wonderful to have a friend from Norway? How wonderful. In fact, I hope she'll email me pictures, especially if she gets some really pretty snow. But anyway, I'm trying to pick myself up because this week on the 20th, things are going to change. And this is the tough time because when somebody doesn't want to give up, and what are they willing to do? But we're going to focus on the positive. Good news is going to come. And we're going to hello, there's my Michelle. I reached out to Michelle the other day. And because if you've had cancer, there's a kind of sisterhood. And when those fears kind of come back, it is so good to reach out to somebody who knows. And God bless Michelle. She said just what I needed, just when I needed to hear it. So thank you, Michelle. Since then, I have been so much better. And I need to, when they do a recheck, which they do after you've had cancer, I need to not look at it as, oh my gosh. It's like, no, they already said they got it all. And hopefully that holds true. But I'm going to try to reframe it. That's something my counselor told me. When you have something that frightens you or saddens you, try to reframe it. And so instead of looking at it as, oh my God, I'm so scared, look at it as it's another chance to really look and make sure it's good. And even if they found something, the treatments now are wonderful. So That's what we're going to do. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I love that about women because we're there for each other and we share. And when we get scared, when we can always find somebody to reach out to and who understands what that feels like. Because what set me off this week is I had to make my CT scan for my first cancer recheck. And I had to do it at 3 months, and then I'll have to do it again in a year, and then every year. But I'm going to try to reframe it. And, you know, it's all good. It's all good. So, it made me a little funky. I've had a hard time being creative because of things that are going on in the country. Hello, Jack B. So it's hard when you're worried about what's going on in the country and the COVID numbers are rising. It's hard to be creative, but I'm trying to push through it. And I wanted to thank each of you because knowing I am going to be here each Sunday, it keeps me moving forward. You can't crawl into a little hole. You can't roll up into fetal position when you have friends that are counting on you and waiting for you. And I wanted to thank you. So, thank you, Miss Nikki. Luckily, I put my test off for a month because hopefully I will get my vaccinations. Please get your vaccinations. Please, please, please. And a friend of mine just got hers. And she was very worried because she had heard all kinds of conspiracy theories. And I said, those aren't true. They're not true. And it's a very safe vaccine. And I can't wait to get mine. As soon as they call, thank you, Miss Polly. As soon as they call my name, I'm going to put on my makeup and my mask and my jewelry and maybe take a foghorn to blow. I'm going to be ready to get my vaccination. I've got a 4-month-old grandbaby I've never met in person. I can't wait to see him. And he is growing and now that he can get on the floor and hold his chest up and you can see with his feet, he's trying to figure out how do I do this movement stuff. He's much happier too. So he's going to be one of those that wants to get busy. Oh, thank you. So, okay. Anyway, there are still, even though I'm working. Thank you for telling us, Jack. And Jack, I haven't seen you before, but in the very end. Oh, yes. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki says, don't forget to do the little thumbs up for me. That always helps. And I would love for you to sign up, subscribe to the channel because we love having you here. But Jack, I don't know if I don't think I've ever talked to you before, but end of September, I had a kidney stone, and when they went to see, well, why does she have a kidney stone, they found a big tumor on my right kidney. So end of September, they removed the kidney. I had to lose the whole kidney because the tumor was large. But they did all the checking lymph nodes around it and no other signs. So we're very, crossing our fingers. What happened to, Deborah Donnell. I hate pinched nerves. You just can't seem to get comfortable with a pinched nerve. Sweetheart, I'm so sorry. We are going to be thinking about you. Deborah Donnell is another one of these ladies who's very, very creative and artistic and is a hard worker. So it's got to be frustrating to be laid up. But anyway, but please get your shots. If you haven't had your shingles shot, please get that. We have another member who has shingles. I mean, there are things that happen. They always say growing older is not for sissies, and they were right. But nowadays, with wonderful modern medicine, we can handle so much. So take good care of yourself. You're last in line, Miss Polly. Is that her way of saying, I'm a young one? So anyway. Oh, yeah, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. I hadn't seen you. So anyway, but I was up till 4:30 this morning, and I've just had a hard time trying to get a show together. So I'm going to try to cobble some things together, and I hope you'll be patient with me. I do know that once things settle down, I'm a person that doesn't like change and doesn't like chaos and all of that. And so my mother was a narcissist and not a good kind. And so I don't like chaos, and it unnerves me. But I am, oh, same arm. Oh, sweetie, we will be thinking about you. There are so many ladies our age that get these rotor cuffs. I tell you the truth, my shoulders, when I sleep at night, my hands go numb if I stay on one side too long, or it aches and you're having to turn one side to the other. So I think what happens is we really use these shoulders our whole life, especially carrying babies. It catches up with us, doesn't it? We will, please let us know how you're doing. Please reach out and send us an email. In our group here, we are a community, and we do love to look out for each other and to be there for each other in good times and in bad. So, oh, I know, Polly, I tell you the truth. And with this cold, damp weather we've been having, oh boy, I ache all over. Isn't it terrible? So, oh, good. So Laura Rylander has had the rotator cuff surgery and says it's worth it. So we're all going to cross our fingers. Oh, it's Linda McCollum who had the shingles. Oh, no, sweetie. Linda, please take care of yourself. You're such a dear soul. You're so generous and giving and so talented. So please take care of yourself. I was out of Claritin, and I thought, I'm not going to the store, and I don't want to send Mark to the store. And so I ordered it from Amazon. I said, if I have to, I'll order it. I said, okay, while I'm there, I need some more mascara. I need some printer paper. And so anyway, oh, and I got to tell you, I ordered some fake gold leaf papers, because I have a few ideas of what I'm going to try to do with these fake gold leaf papers. So when that comes in, I'll plan something else, because, oh my gosh, I love this kind of stuff. So anything I can work on. And in fact, with my nerves being more this past couple weeks, or this past week, I've started back to my paper bead rolling. Let me tell you, I get so nervous after watching the news that, man, I can roll those beads so fast you wouldn't believe. And I roll them till I'm worn out. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that too. But what we're going to start out with, gosh, it's so good to see how I'm already bright and happy. I was worried. My solar system, I've only got 2 things, and I've got a folder full of, I saw a new nebula I want to make. It's called the Witch's Broom Nebula. I've got to get back on that. So while we're talking about this, thank you. That is my Merry Mayhem mystery that I did on New Year's Day. And guess what? My floppy is done. The top is done, and I'm trying to finish a Halloween quilt that's on the frame so I can put this puppy on the frame. I can't wait. Isn't it funny how we miss sewing? We miss, if you machine quilt, we miss it if we go too long without it. So when I hear people say, I'm bored, I just can't relate. I have so much I want to do. But anyway, so let me think. So anyway, I finished that quilt. I'm very, very happy with it. And it was worth 76 half square triangles. And, but anyway, I love it. Mary Mayhem, Mary May. And she's from New Jersey, and she does these mysteries that are wonderful. And that was mystery number 145, Mary Medallion. And if you go to Mary, Merry, Mayhem, in fact, let me type it for you. And if you go to her site, it's no longer up free, but you can buy the pattern for relatively inexpensive. So it's Mary May Him. This is her business name .com. And oh, that's wonderful about thread painting. And it is mystery number 145. And it's called Mary Medallion. And I love medallion quilts. So when I knew it was going to be medallion, I'm like, I'm there. And I use my good fabric for it, because sometimes with mystery quilts, if you're not sure who the designer is, you're afraid to use your good fabric because you might not like it. But with Mary May is her real name. With Mary May, you know you are going to get a quality design. And it's not just some little thing. She puts a lot of thought into it. So I love my quilt. So the first thing, I've got all kinds of things to show you, but the first thing I'm going to do is let's get back down to basics. And because I like to kind of jump back and forth to basics. But all of us have the same issue. When's the last time you cleaned your sewing machine? So let's look into this. Oh, I love those big English roses, the big Blazuni roses. Oh, okay, here we go. So here, boy, this is not as bright. Let me get the lamp over here. Here is this sewing machine. This is my Elna. It's a Elna Quilter's Dream. I'm going to clean it so good that I'm going to take off. Oh boy, I think Mark tightened this for me. I might not be able to get it off. This is a small. Let me try to find a different screwdriver, because this is one of those cases where a wider screwdriver makes the job so much easier. So let me see. Well, I don't see my wide screwdriver. Darn it. Okay. But now some of you, the new machines have what's called a key, and they're wonderful. So, but I have this little old-fashioned one down here, and it doesn't give me much torque. So I'm not going to take off the foot. You don't have to take off the foot, but I just wanted it out of the way. One of the problems I have with this Elna, the presser foot often doesn't stay up. So what I'm going to do is loosen these screws that hold the plate, the needle plate, in place. And sorry about my red fingers. I've got a surprise to show you about my Pysanky eggs. All right, let me tilt this camera down just a little bit. Okay. But anyway, if I could, I would definitely loosen the screw that holds that foot in place just to get it out of my way. Oh, I know one thing I can do. I can push this little button. It drops the foot off at least. So, can't get the whole holder, but the extension, but I can get the foot off. All right. So then I'm going to take out this plate. Now, clean the back of this plate, because you wouldn't believe, but the back of the plate will get dusty and linty. And make sure there's nothing in the way of some of these little things. All right. Then after I get the plate off, and make sure you put those screws in a good area. There's nothing worse than losing your screws. And this has a drop-in bobbin. So I'm going to take the bobbin out of the bobbin holder. And this is my favorite of all sewing machine brush. I like a brush with a whole lot of bristles. Let me bring a lamp over here, you guys. Hold on 1 second, please. This is all of a sudden, there's so much sun coming from the window. Hold on. There's so much sun coming in the window, it's very dark. So let me plug in this little light. Whoops. This is what I mean about today's show. We're going to be a little, it won't be quite as polished, but we'll enjoy each other's company. All right, so I am coming in here and making sure that this is fully clean. And then I turn it over and I clean it, okay? And I've been in a cleaning mood. I did a real good job cleaning the house yesterday. And you see that where you run these threads, I will take a piece of thread and run it through any place where the thread runs, just to double check. And in fact, it looks like there's something right here near this tension disc. And I'm going to carefully try to get that out without damaging it. So, because dust is not your friend. And here, this kind of keeps tension on it. So I'm going to move it out of the way. And dust under there. So see, now it's perfectly clean. Put that over here. And my screws are on the other side where they can't fall down in the machine, because there's nothing worse. And if you ever have a screw that falls down in the machine, then find something magnetic and kind of dip it down in there until you can find it. If not, you would have to then take more off of this machine than you want. All right, so I'm just looking in here. This has got an automatic thread cutter. So I'm looking, checking out how that thread cutter looks. Now, you can use this brush if you want to. But I want to really get stuff from down in there where I can't reach. So my best friend is a Shark vacuum. I got this Shark vacuum years ago, and I'm pretty sure they still sell them. And the reason I like this Shark vacuum so much is because it's very powerful. But the nicest thing, it's one of those portable ones that has the little cup. So let's say you were to vacuum up a screw. Then you just take the front off of here and empty that little cup filter and get it. Okay? Now, this is going to be a little noisy. And normally, I have a computer brush system that I put on the end of this. And it gets a very tiny nozzle. But I just thought I would show you. I get this in here. And I clean it good. Every little area that I can get to. And where that automatic cutter is. Get that clean. And then I'm going to come up in here and do some vacuuming up inside. And then do this really good. Everywhere that lint can hang on. And even up in, let me show you here. Even up in the thread path. I am going to vacuum that thread path really good and get the tension disc vacuumed really good. Okay? That will improve your tension. All right. That's loud, but I love this little Shark vacuum. Whoops. All right. I'm done with that. Let me get that out of the way. But that vacuum, it can get stuff you can't reach with just a little brush. So, but I use it upstairs. Normally it stays upstairs, and I use it with my long arm because that's where I get a lot of. In fact, you know what? Look what happened. The vacuum is so strong, it pulled the thread. It was pulling the thread from where I have it in this upper machine. So here we go. And sometimes you can take your thread and cut it off up here at the bobbin and pull the thread backwards through your machine, and just in case any little dust is in your thread path. But if you pull it backwards, opposite the way it normally does. Now I'm going to do something else. So let me get this light here. All right. So I have, it's just we've all been so busy sewing at Christmas, and we tend to, forget. Now you saw me kind of work a thread through and clean. This is where the bobbin tension is. But my upstairs sewing machine, I have a bobbin case because it sits and pulls out this way. And it's based on a Janome. And so make sure you take the thread and go through the little tensioner on your bobbin case if you have one of those silver bobbin cases. And because sometimes little lint can build up under that, it will throw off your tension. All right. Now, hold on just a second. It was cold down here, and we had my heater on. Now I am warmed up. All right. What I'm going to do before I put all this back together, it's a good time when I clean, it's a good time to get a new needle. So put your needle in a safe place where nobody will get stuck with it, and get yourself a nice new needle right here. Okay, and let's install a new needle so that we have clean machine, a clean, sharp needle. You will not believe how much your machine will thank you for just doing this. Now, I vacuumed up in here, but I'm also going to take this little brush. I wish that some machines this will open, but on this one, it doesn't. But I get up in there the best I can. All right, so it's all clean now. I've got a new needle. Now I just reversed the process, putting everything back. So I put that back in place, and then I get my bobbin and put my bobbin back in and run my thread under the tensioner. Okay. Then I'm going to put, one place I didn't clean. So let me do this. And this seems like a small thing, but I'm going to take out my little bobbin door because there is a lot of lint circling this bobbin door. So let me get that because, just lint has a way of working its way into the thread, through the needle. Lint is not your friend. And I'm going to clean off this bobbin door too. And I could always take a damp rag and clean that off. All right. So now it's nice and clean. This is a non-oiling machine. So if you had a machine that needs oil, my upstairs machine needs to be oiled, my long arm. Then I would use nice clear machine oil. If your machine oil, since we don't use that much, it sometimes will start to yellow. If it starts to yellow, please replace it. It's gone bad. And so just replace it with a new oil. Upstairs, I'll have to do a show from upstairs sometime. But I will show you how I oil my long arm. And I love what are called these oiling pins. And so now I'm putting my screws back in, but I will take and have a refill bottle of oil and keep the oiling pen filled up because it has a nice little point on it. It makes it so easy to get the oil just where you want. And make sure you have a rag or something to get that oil off. Now, I'm going to make sure that my thread, it is tight. So I'm going to make sure that my thread was loose there once it went through the bobbin thing. Because when you put your plate back down, you can often pinch it. And I don't want problems coming from that. All right. Now, I'm going to turn my machine on. You notice I had my machine off because I don't want to take any chances of stabbing myself with that needle while I'm cleaning. And you just never know what kind of button you might accidentally push. So now it's back on. I'm trying. Whoops. Hold on. Don't you hate, a needle threader can be wonderful or it can be a real pain. And I've got too much thread hanging here, so I'm going to cut it to about 6 inches. Gives me perfect amount to deal with. Now, sometimes when you put in a new needle, it makes the threader, it worked. It'll make the threader not quite come in through the needle correctly. So now it's rethreaded, and then I will come back in and put my foot on. Whoops, before I put the foot on, there's dust all down in there. So let me make sure that this is all clean. Okay, so we did it. And that didn't take that long. And we push the little button, there we go. So there we go. My machine is clean. I have heard sewing machine repair people say, you would not believe the dust in this person's machine. And, we use them. Some of these machines, this one sews up to 1,500 stitches per minute. So, you're going to get lint and you're going to get dust. Mark and I cleaned house yesterday. He did the vacuuming for me, and I did the dusting, the baseboards, the dust mopping, all that. And I've still got the bathrooms to do. But we took down all the Christmas decorations. The dust was unbelievable. So, and I got to be honest, I'm not the world's best housekeeper because you know what? There's so many more fun things to do. So, but when the dust bunnies start turning into dust teddy bears, I think it's time to clean. So anyway, you did have the tension problems. Well, I hope they can fix it. I will tell you, I got a really good deal on a long arm sewing machine because the woman had so many tension problems and she had taken it in. And when I got it, I took it in too. It was the tension knob. Somebody had messed with it and didn't put everything back the way it should be. So I got this 16-inch long arm machine and frame for $1,800. And all it needed was the tension disc. I went ahead and replaced it. But the tension plates were turned wrong. So the ratchet wasn't engaging. And so you'd start quilting and the tension's fine. The more you quilted, the worse it got. But anyway, so I got a good deal. It took a lot of work to figure out what the heck was going on. But I did. All right, so now the sewing machine is clean. I'll put up my brush, put up my little tiny screwdriver, and there we go. All right, so any questions on cleaning machines? So, I know. I tell you, I would kind of like to replace my Elna because besides the fact that that most of the time now the lifter foot won't stay up, it doesn't, when it comes to like a double layer seams, it bogs, it just doesn't want to work it through past the the foot, that the little gears, I should not stay up till 4:30. You can tell because my brain is like not quite working. But what are they called? Presser feet. The presser feet thing are just not strong enough to work that fabric through. That's a real pain. Yes, I know it's not that big of a deal, and I can use, a little awl or something to kind of help it through. But hey, but I'm not feed dogs. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. What would I do without you? Oh, you ended up hand sewing your gifts. Oh gosh. I tell you what, who is really good at hand quilting is Miss Michelle. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I'm going to show you first a couple things that I've been working on this week and show you kind of a thought of my own that I came up with. So let me put my glasses on so I can see. And here we go. All right. Here is, do you remember this egg that I worked on that I did some Christmas scenes? And I dyed it green, but the green was really old and it didn't do a very good job. So I decided, why not take these ink dyes and a little tiny paintbrush, and why not paint the colors on, then cover them with wax to protect the colors, and which I've already started doing. See, when it turns black, that's the wax on it. Then I'm going to dye it black. So everything, when I'm finally done, should pop. Now, I didn't have any white dyes, of course, so I just used some white. Here it is. Where is it? I just used some white acrylic paint and just did a thin layer so it mimics dyes. So I did a thin layer of the white acrylic, and then I used my Dynaflow ink dyes in a tiny little brush and painted better colors on there. Hi, Vicki Robles. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, I'm sorry, hon. So now I'm going to show you what do I do once I've got the colors on the egg. And I know this is a quilt channel, but you know what? I find that a lot of quilters enjoy all different kinds of crafts. And like me, we love it all. So here is my Kitska. Oops, it got stuck in the, well, let me use this red Kitska. So what I'm going to do is heat it up. Now these Kitskas, I have blue, white, and red, and they all have a different diameter, little tiny spout there. Well, come on. I don't know why this, my candle flame is very low. For some reason that wick has burned oddly. Okay, and so what I'm doing is cleaning off the Kitska, and do it carefully. See, it's a little brass receptacle that holds the wax. So when I heat it up enough, I need to drain out some of this wax to help make that flame get bigger. So I take the warm Kitska and just kind of make a channel to drain off that wax. All right, so I warm the brass Kitska up. Then I take my beeswax piece and I just kind of rub it on the edge of the Kitska, and the wax goes into the little receptacle there. And then I warm it up again. Okay, then see, it's a very good thing that I wipe it off when I've had it warmed up really good, because sometimes it'll really come running out. So what I do then is I'm trying to put the wax on the white paint of the snowman. Okay, so see now he's covered with wax. Then his little stand down here that I had painted. And I come in here and I cover it with wax. Oh, honey, Vicky, I'm sorry you're having trouble. You know, January, I think, is the hardest month for aches and pains and illnesses. Oh, I am so sorry, hon. Okay, so now all of the snowman is protected. So now see how I did a blue bow on this? And I've already, for the most part, filled in. Let me move this flame out of my way. I keep wanting to hold this up to the camera, but my hand was over the flame and it was getting a wee bit warm. So now, and make sure if I need to add some more wax, then just put it along the side there. It'll melt and goes right in the little receptacle. All right, warm it up again. Okay. And don't catch it on fire like I did last time. But you just kind of, just like writing, try to stay in the lines. Those two little marks where I went out of the line, unfortunately, they won't dye the black. That's why it takes a long time, because, oops, this just spurted, but luckily it was on a big place, so the spurting was fine. But sometimes it just will blop out. And that's why if you see a high price on these eggs, you'll understand why. Because this is a lot of work. But I love it. I love this kind of finicky little small stuff because it's mindless. Once you make your decisions of what you're going to draw and what color you're going to dye it, it's very relaxing. Okay, so I'm not going to keep doing this forever, but you understand, I go over everywhere, this window here, everywhere I want that color to stay, I go over it with this the melted beeswax. And then that way, when I do my final dyeing of solid black, all the color I put here will stay. And just the unwaxed parts. See how I livened up the wreath here around this candle? All right, do the same with the Christmas tree and the Christmas tree skirt. When all the rest of this Christmas tree, the Christmas tree skirt, this wreath, this table, make sure the window's done. When all that's done, then I go and put the egg in a black dye. And it's the same kind of dye you use for fabrics. So then when I'm done with that, then I'll do what's called the reveal. And I have a reveal for you today. Woo! Don't hold your hand over that flame. All right. So now, let's see. So now you hold the egg to the side of the flame. Do not put it over top the flame. You don't want to get soot on the egg. But you just put it on the side and then wipe it off, and it reveals the white. Now I only did this I only dyed this one time. I did the pattern on a white egg. I dyed it in a deep red, and now I'm taking off the beeswax. And this was based on a quilt pattern. I was making it up as I went along. You've got to very gently soften the wax and rub the wax off, and then it reveals the bright colored egg. And, I've got a long way to go to get to where I would call myself good at this. This takes years of practice. But now I'll reveal the star in the center and like a mariner's compass. And then I did flying geese around this way. Then I did the circles around this way, followed by more flying geese. Pardon me. And then a checkerboard border, and then more circles, and then signed my name. I'll show you too. If you can see right here, I unfortunately did a little bit of scorching. I got the flame really actually touched the egg. But my name and the year I did it, and here is my new egg. And this is fun. It's inexpensive. All right, so now I'm done with this, and next week I'll show you this once I've finished the wax and dyed it black. I'll do the reveal next week for that. But it's a lot of fun, and I like using these because, I told y'all I don't like having to dye the egg so many times. That was a pain. So in a way, I guess you could say I'm cheating, but you know what? Maybe it's not really cheating. Maybe it's just modernizing a very old hobby. And everything changes in time. All right. So I wanted to show you for Christmas, I gave myself some new beads. Got them on sale at Michael's, had them shipped to me. And I made also a bracelet to go with it. And I love having I love having a different tops to wear from week to week. And I love having jewelry. But I'm too cheap to buy it, so I make it. And I wait for the beads to go on sale. I just wanted to show you, I'm thinking about using these today. And it's you're probably going to have a hard time really seeing how beautiful these beads are. But they are blues and teals and purples with a slight, what is that? A slight, like a mirrored metallic. And these are so pretty. And I've been wanting to use them for a long time. And see, I save bags that have eyeglass holders that break, and I save those beads. So, and then I brought down some beads that look like wood or cork. All right. So here's my bag of stuff I got for Christmas. And let me show you what I have. Effervescent. It's kind of, it was what was on Tiffany lamps or Tiffany glass. I forgot what that exact name is. And, but for Christmas, I love elastic to put necklaces on because as I've gotten older and have arthritis, it's harder for me to do the little clasps. So, okay, iridescent, I guess is the word we're looking for. You were so close, Miss Deborah Dunn. And the words eventually come to me. But I got some of these pony beads as spacers, and I'll show you why later. But I got some miscellaneous black beads and some miscellaneous gold and silver. Mainly, I got all these pony beads for a different reason that I'll show you in a minute. But I got some of these rondelles, which is kind of a flattened round. And okay, so the bead in question, because I got supplies for bead making, but I only got a few specific things because they're expensive if you're not careful. Now I got these, of course, on sale. My price is always the sale price. All right, so let me pack all this back. Let me put all this stuff back in here, out of the way. Don't need these. The colors, these are the beads that I got that I'm so excited about. And I got them on sale for $2 and something, okay? These are peacock feather beads, and I love peacock feathers. Aren't they pretty? So what it is, it's a little ceramic bead with a little decal that was baked and glazed on it, okay? So now I have 2 of those because these were more expensive. They might have been $2.99. It might have even been $3 or $3.49. So I've got 2 of these strips. Now I've got a big neck. So obviously, I'm going to have to use an extender. That's why I wanted these beads, because they are the color of peacocks and they have that iridescence. Love these. Then I tried to order some other things I thought would go with this. So I ordered some of these, and these are agate beads, and I love agates because they're natural. Here is a smaller agate, and what I'm trying to do is see what looks good with the peacock feather, because I want to, this is the star, and what I'm wanting to do is enhance, not overshadow. So what worries me that these agate beads are a little too big, so I'm going to put those aside. I can make a bracelet out of those. Then I got these, and these are a metallic gold glass bead. Love, love, love them. They have some heft to them. So I think between these, I'm going to be able to make a necklace. And I'm not going to have enough of these. They were out. I wanted to get 3 of these so I could have enough to do a necklace and a bracelet, but they only had 2 left when I ordered them. So, but I think these, I like this, picks up on the light color in the peacock feather. And then this will pick up on all the other colors. But I don't know, the gold might try to upstage, so I may not be able to use the gold. And I don't think I want to use, I brought this down from upstairs just in case I wanted to use a few of these, but I don't know. I have to think about it. It might not be the right look, but this is probably something I'll work on tonight, and I'm going to put them on the elastic cord. I got this cord because it's very narrow. I got this black cord rather than the clear plastic stretchy cord, because I've noticed the clear plastic stretchy cord, makeup, body oils, and stuff like that degrade it, and it'll end up just breaking. So this black cord I found is a little more, oh, Deborah, that's perfect. Deborah said save one of the peacock beads for the center of the bracelet, and that way they'll still match. I love it. That is a perfect idea. All right, so I just thought I would show you what other kind of things I like working on, because honestly, I love basket weaving. I love polymer clay making. I love just about anything, except I do not knit. I'm sorry, I don't have the talent. So next week, I'll show you what I come up with this. And as usual, I didn't pay more than $3 for any because I'm cheap. And this was on sale too. So I am cheap. All right. Now let's get back to talking about quilting. Because I know some people come in here and say, when is she going to quilt? Well, I did that, and it's only the second week. You know, it's only the middle of January, and I got that completely done. I'm so proud. You have to brag when you can. So, we'll come back to quilting. And a dear friend on here gave me a wonderful gift certificate to Missouri Star. She shouldn't have, but I love her to bits. And I ordered some gorgeous fabric from French General. I have had my eye on French General for a couple of years. And so I went to Missouri Star and I started looking, and some of it was on sale. Yay! That's always a win. When you can get it for $6 and something a yard, always a win. So I found enough fabric in that line, and I'm going to add some of my beige or off-white, creamy, whatever white here, because luckily when I could go to Pineapple Fabrics, I bought their fabric by the pound and got some gorgeous. I said, I'm going to focus on backgrounds and basics and stock up on those. And then I can always find the focus fabric, that the latest, greatest focus fabric. So then after I put that order in, and I'm hoping it'll be here in the next week or two, so excited. And so then I started looking for patterns. I don't know about y'all, but trying to decide when you have this precious, precious fabric, trying to decide what to do with it. In fact, you know what? I just realized, see the quilt way back there? The same person gave me a gift certificate for that fabric too. And that got completely made and quilted. So I do better. I do better with gifts than I do things I buy for myself. But anyway, so I started going online and looking and looking and looking. And there are some patterns. I found some blocks that were exquisite, but they were back from 2010 or 2011, and I can't find the pattern. And I have looked, and I have looked, and I tried sending a message to the woman who did the blog and showed me the blocks she made. They were done from an online site called Friends in Quilting, Friends in Stitches. Friends in Stitches. I don't think it was Stitching Friends, but I've looked for the online group. They did a block of the month, and I want that pattern so badly. And I can try to design some of the ones I saw, but they were exquisite. And that's kind of a hard thing when you finally see something so bad that, oh, I want to make that, and then you can't find the pattern. So I did write. I'm hoping this woman hasn't even put anything on her blog for 5 going on 6 years. So I don't even know if the email's the correct one. But I went around. I spent hours. That's what I was going to tell you about the internet. Oh my gosh. I go down the rabbit hole. Now I understand that term. You look at one thing, which leads you to another thing, which leads you to another thing. And before you know it, you're so far down that rabbit hole, you look up and 2 hours has passed. So I could easily spend 6 hours a day on the computer, but that's 6 hours a day I'm not creating. Knowledge is wonderful, but having a quilt is more wonderful. And in fact, my pink flamingo Degas quilt. I hope I haven't missed the deadline for Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show, because I wanted to finish that and enter it. So that's going to be my focus this week. I love those little pink flamingo ballet dancers, and I want to finish that and enter it. So maybe I can talk Jody into entering her Van Gogh in the same quilt contest. Yes, let's see. All right. So I was looking up on the internet, and I was finding as many free patterns as I could. I found a pattern I kind of liked, but it was $16, and I'm too cheap to pay that. This one is really, really beautiful. It's called Holiday Sparkle. But with the French General fabrics I got, they're all in those reds and burgundies. The wine color reds. Oh my gosh. So this, when I saw it, I thought, oh, baby. And one of the fabrics is a border. You know what you can do with border prints? You can make wonderful kaleidoscope. So on this quilt, where you see those center squares, I can take the border print and use the mirror system, 2 mirrors, and you just kind of set it on the pattern until you find wonderful kaleidoscope patterns. And oh, okay, hold on. Okay. I'm sorry, somebody's innocent comment was held for review. I had to go answer and say, that's okay. So, but anyway, I think that this one's a top runner. If I can't do, the other one is going to be more like a sampler. And sometimes I get excited to be challenged because these samplers had so many pieces. And like where there would be a triangle, they've divided it in half. So it's like, really, in fact, I don't see it up on my, here it is. Aha. Let me show you this, okay? Here is one of the blocks, and it is so beautiful. And I wanted something kind of timeless and something that kind of looked like Revolution kind of time period. Now I have to find my way back to you guys. Hold on just a second. Okay, there we are. But isn't that a pretty block? And the others are even more beautiful. So that's what I'm kind of hoping I'll find. Anyway, if I have to end up looking and figuring out how to design them, I will share it with y'all. Okay? So if I'm going to work that hard, might as well share it with my best friends. So anyway, but that's a pretty good contender. I thought about this, but the more I think about this, I'm not sure that goes with the fabric. But this was another free pattern that I found. And I'm hoping this has the web address. If not, I will put it on our, okay. If I show you this, it's called Ever Growing Mandala. You should be able to type that into your search engine. Then look at this information at the top. Featuring Trueville Collection by AGF Studio, but Evergreen Mandala. And mandala means circle. And it's like a circle of life. It's found in many different cultures. But I like this, but I kind of think this would be beautiful in Christmas fabric. So then I have another idea, because we all know that Valentine's Day is coming. So I got this McCall's Quilting magazine in. See? Right away, my eyes went boing on that little quilt on the cover. And I don't think Miss Bonnie's here. Wish she were, because, oh my gosh, she would love this. But look at this. And remember how I told you that I wanted to do more with embellishing? Look at those little tiny heart buttons they found. Whoops. Look at that. You see the stitching that they did? That's a chain stitch for the stems. Now this one is done in wool. And that's kind of nice because you don't have to worry about the edges fraying with wool. But not all of us have wool. But I thought of Linda with this. So this is on the McCall's Quilting, January, February 2021. Let's see if it'll focus. So be looking for your McCalls, okay? And I already took out, because I cannibalized my magazines. Because if I don't take out what I want, I would end up with stacks of magazines that I would never really end up going through. So I take out the good treasures. And this one has the pattern. So I'm very excited, and I think I want to work on this with us. I think I want to work on this with us because Valentine's Day is coming up in a month. So, oh, that's wonderful. I wonder if you will get this. So anyway, I think that's beautiful. And since this wool background, and it's like a table runner, see that? So what I would suggest, if you don't do it in wool, do it in a good sturdy white fabric that probably has fusible interfacing on the back to give it some stability. Because the nice part about wool too is it's thicker and more stable. But if you can afford the wool, then that's great, or you have wool laying around. If not, I think I'm going to just do mine in regular fabric. So it's going to be fun. And, you know, this is, if you don't have the McCall's magazine and you can't get out to get it, I wonder, I don't know if they would allow you to go online and look for it or what. But honestly, you know, here's the directions on how do you make the circle. You make a square, you fold the fabric in half, fold it in half the other way, and then put a string on a pencil, hold the string in the middle, and do an arc. But we can all cut out hearts and put them on there, and we can do the little flowers and the hearts. Now, there was an interesting story about this one. The woman took some of the silk from her wedding gown and used it to make some of the stems and flowers. I think that's really cool. So I think that would be a fun, this is something I'm going to want to work on. So I'm still going to have to keep looking for patterns for my new French General fabric that's going to be coming. But thank you. I'm so excited. I don't want y'all to ever feel like you have to give me a gift, but sometimes when it comes, it's just in time. But don't. I just love sharing time with you, and your time here with me is a huge gift. I was taking down my Christmas tree this week, and when I looked, I was cleaning out the boxes. Are y'all like this? There you go, Laura. You go to Goodwill, you can find all kinds of good wool. And, but I was cleaning out the boxes that I put all the ornaments in, because sometimes we keep stuff. We just keep putting it in, taking it out, and not cleaning it. And I thought, no, I'm going to organize my stuff better. So next year, when I open a container, I know where it goes. Oh, Road to California is a free pattern. Ooh, I'll check that out. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. I am falling in love with Miss Edita Sitar, just like Diana Wright and Nadine. I tell you, I'm falling in love too. But I noticed in the bottom of the container, there were these two glass balls that have kind of lost their finish. And I started to throw them out, and I went, wait a minute, maybe I can rescue them. So I took and put some of the paint inside. You know how I use the Jacquard Lumiere paint. I put some of that inside, and then I just took and put where it kind of dripped out. I kind of just used my finger and smeared it around. So this gives me a basic, and now I think what I'm going to do is do some dot painting on it or landscape. Then this, I I used to have a bowling ball. I got my own bowling ball in my 20s when I joined a church league. And the only blue ball they had back then had copper swirls in it. So I did a little ode to my dogs. I did a little ode to my original bowling ball from my young days, and I put the copper color or bronze color paint inside and then around the edge. So I just thought I'd show you. You can take old ornaments that are there, that are free, and just kind of, improve them. So anyway, all righty. Oh, I know what I was going to show you. So a while back, I had gotten this. And I don't know how much I'll end up using it, but I think I'm going to try. And this was a toolkit that I got for $15, $17 off of Amazon that has stuff to do jewelry with. And so I got that to show you that I am definitely going to see what I know I can put good use to the pliers in there. But you can find some good deals if you look around. Because instead of just buying one or two pliers that could be that price, get the whole kit. It's got jump rings and everything in it. So then today I was like, oh, what do I show them? What do I do? Because, Monday night, boy, I was showing y'all good stuff. But here it is Sunday, and I'm tired, and I don't know what to show you. So I looked over at the beads I've been making in the past couple days, and I said, I want to show them this again. Hi, Sue Smith. Hello. So, Suzanne, Giancolli. Hi. Hello. So, anyway, it is so good. I'm loving seeing some of you people. And make sure I mention your name. And then let me write this down because we have a wonderful group on Groups.io. And if you would like to join our group, and I recognize who you are, and because we're all so honest and open in that group, so I just try to make sure you're really a quilter, or somebody who is a real person that would like to be in our group, because we're more of a family. We're like a community. But anyway, and if I recognize your name and I've seen you here twice, send me an email to ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. All right. And if you send me an email to that, I'll send you an invitation. So to join our group. And then on our group, we put any good ideas that we find. Cheryl Lemon shows us wonderful, funny things, puts the funniest memes on there. We share free patterns, free ideas, free seminars, whatever we can find to share, and just sharing our life, little incidents, pictures of our work. And in fact, if you use that same email address, send me photos of things that mean something to you, photos of your work, something that I can then use during our photo time. So I love showing the things you make. I love the inspiration I get. I had a comment from one of the weeks. I get comments on YouTube, and the woman said, it's really nice of you to share other people's work. And I was like, absolutely. We are the richer for it. So we love seeing what you're working on, and we can always learn things from each other. So it's a really nice group. So people who I have seen, like Laura Rylander, I'm hoping she's a member of our Time Groups.io. But I thought I was trying to think of what to share with y'all. And usually I try to share something that means something to me. And I happened to look over at these beads I was working on last night. And I wanted to show you because, I'm on a fixed income. I know a lot of you are on fixed incomes. And our money, our income has to go a long way. The older we get, the more we have to worry about medicines and things like that, insurance things. And I have some medical bills that are out of the world. So, welcome to being a senior citizen. But I have found joy in little inexpensive things that make me happy. When I started making paper beads, I'm sorry about this. We have a new dog in the family, and she has not settled into the mama's busy, be quiet thing yet. But anyway, I first started using some people use toothpicks or skewers. Like, you could use the fatter half of the skewer to wind a paper bead. I used a crochet hook, but then I saw this on Etsy or something. Hi, Robin. So good to see you. I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody because I love calling out your name because you mean so much that you're spending time with us. And but I saw this, and this was like $8.99 or something. This woman, who's a paper bead maker, had designed this and had these made, and I thought it was a very good deal. And it has a slot right here that you put your paper in, and then you start rolling. And see how this thing turns so easily? And that's how I'm able to really roll fast. And I'm hoping she'll make more of these with different size ends on them. But this is the best bead maker. And let me tell you why I wanted this instead of continuing to use the crochet hook. When you have a slot in there, and I even bought some with a wooden handle with the slot. But one of the problems I have is I put a little more glue on than some of the paper bead makers because I want my beads to be really sturdy. When I went to try to pull them off, sometimes the glue would stick to the piece of metal, the slotted metal. Well, this has stainless steel, so nothing rusts or sticks to it. Also, look what it has. It has this kind of motion where it pushes that bead off for you. Isn't that cool? So I love, this is my very favorite. I'm sorry, I should have found the woman's name before I came on here. But if you look around and you type in purple bead roller and see if you can't find it. But I wanted to show you this. Then I took pieces of, this came out of some packaging, and I put toothpicks on it. And as I make the beads, I set them on the toothpicks to dry. But I wanted to show you these beads because, see this? These are all junk mail. I absolutely did not buy any of this. Oh, honey, I'm so glad you're finally feeling better. Oh, gosh, honey. I think our Robin had COVID. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, these were all. These kind of papers, and I love these striped ones here. These, in fact, all of these beautiful ones, they are the safety lining of envelopes so that people can't see what you're mailing. Like you get them in or a bill or something. Oh, you did. Oh, I thought that so, Robin. I'm so glad you're finally feeling better. So this is from safety envelopes. They print the inside of the envelopes so that when you mail your payment back, it's harder to see through the envelope. And this one is so funny. This one's on the inside of that envelope. It says, please recycle this envelope, which I think makes the funniest bead in the world. Look at that. Please recycle this envelope. Yep, I recycled it. But even the yellow envelopes, I love it. This is an AT&T ad. But I love I love junk mail. Now when Mark comes in with the mail, the first thing I do is look for if it has any kind of paper that would make an awesome paper bead. So when I do this bead, okay, when I do these beads, I want that paper, I want the specialty paper to last. So what I do is I use part of any kind of letter type paper I get. I save all of that. And then I just cut this specialty paper in about a 2.5 to 3 inch strip, because you only need enough to just make a couple rolls around. Because when you look at this bead, you don't realize it's not all yellow paper. It's only the outer edge that's yellow. So after I finish sanding this down, I'll take a yellow marker, and color in the inside so that you can't tell just part of it was the yellow. But it makes the colors that I find go farther, and just like this. And when you're cutting up an envelope, a lot of times you have to cut around the little window and all of that. So it's perfect for making these strips. So what I do is I have this piece of paper and I have the strip, and I glue the strip along one edge, and then I sit there either with hand scissors or my guillotine paper cutter, and I make the strips. And then with the strips, and I don't know if I've shown you this or not, so I thought I would show you just how I get started. You put the little paper in, see how there's that slit there? You put the paper in that, and then you just, whoops. Oh, darn. Okay, you put the paper in that, and then you just start rolling. You roll, and I've got to where I roll pretty fast now, let me tell you. And I just roll. Now here, I didn't glue down that flap. So I'm going to take and put some glue on that. And I just use school glue. I buy it by the gallon. Pretty cheap that way. And I roll and get this to roll flat. And then I put more glue than some people, but I don't want this bead ever slipping out, because what happens is that glue that's on the paper will end up soaking through the entire roll and making it monolithic, making it a solid bead. And that's what I want. Because when I finish with these beads and I make a necklace, I'm going to have an acrylic finish on the outside, and it will be able to hold up to anything. So just that easily, I made the bead. But I just wanted to show you that you can just use junk mail. Now, some of my prettiest beads come from catalogs, like Ethan Allen furniture catalogs. And let me back out. I wanted to show you this one thing. On this bead, sometimes the paper doesn't really want to stick the first time. So there we go. So I put a little extra glue, and then I hold it, and I kind of rub the extra glue on the outside to help hold that. And there you go. Now and I can't wait to see what I can do with those. That just looks so sharp. So anyway, it's free. It is absolutely free. And every day I get enough junk mail. The envelopes out of bills, because I pay all my bills online through my bank. So now I have these envelopes that have the safety paper inside. So when Mark brought me the one that had the pretty gray safety paper, it was a big envelope. And I was like, oh, baby, that's better than getting flowers. So I have this real heavy mug that's beautiful. Friend Kathleen gave this to me. I admired it, and she said it didn't keep her coffee hot enough, but it's nice and heavy. So I put my bead strips in here, set them by my table. And that way, when I feel like working on something, I'll grab a few strips. And just to kind of show you, because I don't buy paper for beads now. I've tried it a couple times, but this came from an enclosure that had come with a dog crate. It was just a little sales enclosure. But by the time I roll that and see how the shape of this one is, this is going to be a barrel bead. And so when they come to a point, and online, there are all kinds of sources. But my quilt magazines, guess where they go? If they have a thick, like the covers, I've tried doing the pages, but the pages have gotten so thin now that I just do the covers. And I've got so much paper. I've got a 3-tier cart full. So, but what I'm going to try to do, because Mark's like, well, you have all those nice bags of beads, but what are you going to do with them? Smart Alec. Here is a cover of a magazine. And then Mark loves Hershey Nuggets. So I take the papers and do the same thing where I take all the Hershey Nugget papers and glue them along a strip of regular sheet paper that came in the mail. This is so funny to show you how this is really, really, really junk mail. The Hartford. But I make good use of it. All right. Sometimes I do, I'll use like some of these postcard weight, but I'm finding those things are so hard to work with. I think I'd rather work with that. But I just would show you that if you're feeling a bit at loss and you're tired of knitting, or you're in the evenings, what can I do? I don't feel like crocheting. Then consider a new hobby that's very inexpensive. So, all right, I showed you all of that. Little Miss Noisy, she now has gotten very comfortable. Maisie, can you say hi? She was my daughter's dog, and my daughter couldn't keep her when she moved into the rental house. She's already got a standard size poodle. And I said, can we have her? And Maisie, come here, say hi. She's got her sweater on because it's chilly down in the basement here. Oh, she's hiding. She's hiding. But anyway, she has been wonderful. She has adapted better than we thought. All of her 7 pounds. And she is trying to rule the roost. She wants to boss. She wants to boss all the other dogs. What do you smell? I had a grape. Maybe she's smelling the grape. But anyway, isn't she the cutest little thing? The whole 7 pounds of her. And but she loves to sit close, and she's so small. Gromit always wanted to be in my lap, but he's 30 pounds. So anyway, she's doing really, really well. And it is a little chilly down here. Oh, she just kind of, oh. So anyway, I thought I would show you. This is the one who's been so yippy this morning. But I've got a little bed for her right down here by my desk. So Gromit's under my desk in his bed. She's beside me in her bed. And then Blossom is laying on the rug. There's Blossom. So we stay busy with 3 pups. But you know what? I wouldn't trade them for anything. Although, when they get you up in the middle of the night, because then they decided, oh, yeah, now I need to tinkle. You know. Oh. But I love our pups. So, okay. I think, did I show y'all these? I don't know if I showed you all these. But, I gotta be honest. When I ordered my Claritin from Amazon, I had to look hard, but they had one of the containers of the glass balls, 32 in the container for $10.99. It had my name written on it. I had to get it. So I've got that fake gold tissue leafing tissue. But this I made for my granddaughter because I'm trying to get her going in dot painting. And so I told her yesterday, I made you a really cool ball that has like neon pink and purple glitter. I'm hoping she'll like dot painting. And then this one I did with 3 different colors. I think I did show y'all this. Actually, 4 different colors: green, turquoise, dark blue, and silver. And this is going to be a landscape. So anyway, I will be taking these upstairs with me. And Mark has off tomorrow. And God bless Martin Luther King's birthday tomorrow. And we have learned so much. But we have learned mainly that unless all of us are free and equal and prospering, then none of us are. So this holiday tomorrow means an awful lot to me. And I'm going to do, I know we miss our Susan, don't we? She has got some projects. That girl, if you go to her blog, Susie's Quilting, if you are part of our group. Oh, hi, Muriel Morris. Way to go. Yeah, please let me, if I have said your name twice, like I said, shoot me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com if you'd like to join our groups IO. We have what we call a real tight family, a sense of community on our group. We'd love to have you join. Yes, Marcia, she is a poodle. She is a toy poodle, I guess, whatever the tiniest kind is. And so, yeah, Susan's blog and then Bonnie's blog, it's like you're sitting there having a conversation with them. It's wonderful. So please look, I read Susan's last night, but it was in the middle of the night and it was kind of tired, so I didn't comment. But I was reading. I read her last 2. So, and I understand what she says about when, oh my gosh, why did I sign these up? So that I guess the next thing is, let's look at your photos and let's see what you've been doing. So let me cut off this light and turn the camera around. And here we go. Okay. And I want to thank Miss Nikki for being such a wonderful hostess today. Okay, let me loosen this. I told Susan she raised that girl right. Nikki is a pure delight. So, okay. Here we go. Let's check these photos. All right, bring it up. Come on, photos. Whoops. I have a trigger finger. I never think it's moving fast enough, and I end up opening 2 of everything. All right, Alexis, I hope she's still here because you know that she did the most recent full piece that she did. Just amazing, amazing, amazing embroidery. I mean, stitches so even, so close.